Hello, all my astrological friends out there. This is Maxine Taylor with your forecast for February for the United States. Please excuse uh, the time it took me to get this recorded, etc. I have been very, very busy creating and producing a workshop that is going to be held um, the day after Valentine's Day on Zoom. And of course, this if this speaks to you, just go to my website, MaxineTaylor.com, and on the first page, you'll get a complete description of the workshop. You can sign up right there, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Let me tell you a little bit about this workshop. Um, for years, I kept thinking astrology is a marvelous tool for understanding issues. It can help you understand the problem. What it doesn't offer is a solution to that particular problem. Okay? Um, and back last year, I had an awakening, a revelation, a transformation, uh, a whole eighth house thing. That's a technical term, of course. And many of you have a copy of this book, Secrets from the Womb. This is the step after astrology because it shows you the hidden pact that you made, that I made, that we all made, that runs our lives. The beauty of this particular book is it's 3 steps. That's it. 3. You don't have to meditate. You don't have to stand on your head. You don't have to do anything except just move through the 3 steps. If you are interested in that, just go to, as I said, my website, MaxineTaylor.com, and there's all kind of information right there on the first page. I am very excited to share this with you because not everyone is aware of or even thinks about what lies beyond. What started me in this journey was I saw how I kept going back into my life story. And I was very perturbed with myself. And I asked the question, if I'm so smart, how come I keep going back to my life story? And the person, the dear friend I was with, said, move into the womb. And I did on the spot. And you just tap into it. And my life was transformed at that moment. I've worked with other people whose lives have been transformed. The name of the workshop is the Freedom Workshop, and that describes it. It's an all-day workshop. You do not need any astrological background to leap into that. And if you have questions, just call me. You know, I'd love to talk to you. It will explain this. Get ready for a total transformation if you are ready to get ready for it. Okay, I hope I'm making sense. Now, let's see what we got going here. Okay. Mercury has already gone direct. Jupiter, the bountiful Jupiter, the truthful Jupiter that brings abundance and truth and money and principles, has gone direct on the 5th. Today is the 6th. Okay. And so you want to see where early Gemini, Jupiter, falls in your birth chart because things are going to pick up. They have already picked up for many, many people. So I'm really excited about that. But the other planet that has been no help whatsoever is Mars. Mars is action. Mars is energy. Traditionally, it rules family, real estate, nurturing, uh, you know, all the warm and fuzzy things. Um, when Mars is retrograde, and I've described this before, it flatlines. It does absolutely nothing. And so that's where we are still in. That is where we are still at. There's another preposition for you if you like. Um, it is powerful. It will go direct on the 23rd. And when that happens, look out because it's going to get in gear and start racing forward. I'm going to tell you where this falls in the US chart. And of course, if you are interested in a forecast for yourself, just contact me on my website, MaxineTaylor.com, because it's very important that we all keep track of why things are not moving forward, perhaps, or why they're racing ahead, or why your plans have just gone crazy. This is what will show it to you. Will it give you a solution? No, no, but it will give you, if you take my workshop, it will put you in another place that is exquisite, that is calm and loving and exciting. So you've got that to look forward to. So back to astrology, precious astrology. On the 23rd, as I said, it will go direct. Be prepared for action. So now let me share with you what this means in the United States chart. I always want to know, I can't always pinpoint the details because when we're dealing with politics, they change on a daily basis. Have you noticed? They'll say one thing 1 minute and then the next moment they totally go 150 degrees in the opposite direction or just 50 degrees. They flip-flop is what they do. I'm talking about politicians. So it's quite difficult to keep track of where we are. And that's why you want to trust the God that lives within you. So let's talk about these wonderful planets that we've studied for so many years. Um, let's talk about the sun. The sun is the giver of life. Um, it it really just opens doors, even if the planet or cusp it touches is afflicted. It opens your mind. It's wonderful. Um, on the 28th, the sun, which is in the 10th house of the president, the executive branch of government, and I'm going to read you the mundane houses because that's what our country is. It's a mundane house. It's not a human chart. It does have a life of its own. So the 10th house is where the sun is. And on the 28th, it's going to sit, excuse me, it's going to sit on the second, on the moon. And so I can't read my own handwriting. Uh, in case you didn't know that, just be aware of that. Um, okay, on the 18th, well, that's quite a difference. On the 18th, the sun is sitting on the moon. The moon represents, along with the 10th house, the party in power. And so that will represent Trump. Uh, the 10th house in a mundane chart is the president, the country's reputation, the party in power, our public image, and the moon rules change. So there's going to be some change in our public image and leaders in general. It's up there. Now, there is a new moon. But before we have the new moon, we've got the full moon. This full moon is on the 12th of February in 24 degrees Leo. Okay? And by the way, those of you who are new to my station, my show, welcome. When we deal with mundane things, we have a different analytical approach to each house. Each house means something different than it does in our own chart because we're dealing with millions of people in the United States. Makes sense, right? Okay. The full moon is when everything comes to a head. Now, I don't mean it explodes, but it comes to a head to be dealt with. This is on the 12th, and the full moon is on in 24 degrees of Leo. Now, I've done this before, I'll do it every time. I'm going to read the mundane definition of the fourth house. It's the party out of power. So that's the Democrats. Makes sense to me. Domestic affairs. There are so many of those. I mean, this covers a lot. Real estate. And we know what's going on with real estate. Weather. We know what's going on with the weather, with the ice, with the snow, with homes falling into lakes and streams and oceans and yeah, we know, and snow where there never has been snow, perhaps. Okay, it also rules land. And with things falling into your backyard because there's ice or snow on the roof or on your property, you can see where this would be very unsettling. Farmers, builders, crops, mines, and seniors. There are a lot more of us now. We're living longer and living better. Okay, so that is what this full moon triggers. Now you might say, well, is it going to get worse? Is it going to get better? That is just an interpretation of how this full moon activates the entire chart. But what I found is that the conjunction takes precedent over every other aspect because it is the strongest one. So with the full moon in the fourth house, what I've written will become activated, and I would go because it comes to a head on the full moon. And so let me tell you what else Cancer Leo rules children. Okay, so you want to be aware of that. The full moon is in the fourth house. And that deals, of course, with domestic affairs, as I said, home and family. Um, and this can be the activation of deporting people from various families who have come over, but not the entire family. If a child is born here in the United States, uh, there may be, we don't know how it's going to be carried out. And remember, flip flop, flip flop, flip flop. They say one thing one day and another thing the next. So be prepared. In fact, if you just listen, you will recognize that we have already been told what is going to go on. All we have to do is listen. So the full moon deals with homes, family, real estate, all that good stuff. Now, the new moon, which is when things start picking up again, things come to a head on the full moon. But the new moon, that is when things start moving forward because after the full moon, it's kind of a downhill energy. Have you noticed? Until 2 days before the new moon, nobody has any energy. And on the new moon, everything kicks in. Yay. All right, the new moon is on the 28th, and it is in 9 Pisces 41, and it sits on the moon. And this is a change in the president's approach, public image, etc. Got that? All right. Now, let's look at some other things that are going on. Venus, the planet of love, money, it's the lesser benefic, and everything that is beautiful. In a mundane chart, the 11th house rules Congress and congressmen. It rules legislation, the treasury, uh, all kind of councils, city council, county council, and friends. And so this is what is activated by Venus, which is love. That area that I just described, congressmen, etc., can be very positive. Okay. Jupiter has gone direct in the first house. Now, Jupiter is the greater benefic. What it does is it expands everything. If you've been eating too much, you're going to eat more. If you have started a new career, it's going to expand. And there is a certain optimism, even joy, when Jupiter goes direct. It goes direct in the first house of the United States chart. So that first house rules attitude and political mood. It also rules public health. I'm not touching that one. Not touching them at all. But Jupiter there expands it and brings truth. I love it. Now, Mars, oh boy, Mars in Cancer. When Mars is the planet that says lead, follow, or get out of the way. I am in charge of my life. And that's exactly what it means. But when it goes retrograde, which it has been, it is like I always liken this to a leaf floating on a swimming pool, a full swimming pool. It doesn't do anything. nothing is going forward, nothing matters. Well, on the 24th, Mars goes direct in the mundane second house of the United States chart. It rules, that second house is money, earnings, savings. Think of the banks that are now firing people. Finances, the stock exchange, commerce, trade, and debts. Everything dealing with money. And so there's going to be a lot of unsettledness as people realize, and I know many people who have done this, they voted. I have a friend who says, I vote with my wallet. That can be very upsetting to people because Mars is a fighter. Mars wants a fight all the time, and it wants it now. So we got to look at this and be prepared. So now you're prepared. And last but not least, Mercury. Well, Mercury is not an action planet. Mercury is a thinking planet. It has all kind of ideas. On the 7th, tomorrow, thank you for your patience, by the way, for this, with this. Tomorrow, Mercury is on the moon. Now, the moon is the president. And so we can expect some sort of announcement, lots of talking, all that kind of stuff from on high, because that's the 10th house. Then on the 21st, Mercury moves into that 11th house of Congress and congressmen, lots of talk coming from them. Legislation, the Treasury, councils, like city councils, friends, and stepchildren, interestingly enough. And once again, lots of communication, lots of talking. So I'm really glad that Mars is out of retrograde because so many people wanted to start a new job. And they couldn't get it started. And of course, when Mercury is retrograde, you do not want to start any new projects. So Mercury, of course, is out of retrograde now. Mars will be out of its retrograde position a little later this month, but nevertheless, really good. The 24th. I'm just holding my breath and waiting to see how it happens. So, my dear friends, what I am going to suggest to you is that you focus on the positive side of your life. You cannot function if you're angry or upset. Do not get caught up in the rage that will be coming from edicts which are passed down from on high. I told God that I wanted to serve my planet and asked how I could do that. And God said, keep teaching astrology. And I thought, okay, I will do that. And it led me to Secrets from the Womb, which I'm so thrilled to. I didn't write it, God wrote it. I just put the workshop together. So if you're interested, go to MaxineTaylor.com, sign up, and I look forward to helping you transform your life with 3 simple steps. And we'll do as many of them as we can, because everybody's going to be excited. And so, with love, I'm saying, dear friends, be your highest and best. You are God in an earthbound body. Do not let those people whose vibration is slower than yours pull you down. Don't believe what they're saying. The truth is that you are love itself, and that is what God is. So, till next month, may the stars shine brightly on you and yours. Bye for now.